Now let us consider a trial solution for this. I that is equal to I naught sin omega t minus pi. Okay. For this trial solution, we have to find the expression for I naught and pi. Right? We have to determine I naught and pi. If this solution satisfies this equation, right? Considering that this equation satisfies this solution satisfies this equation, we can determine I naught and pi. For that, let us differentiate equation. You have to calculate the d by dt of equation 4. Let us differentiate once. So what we get, di by dt, which is nothing but I naught cos omega. I naught cos omega t, phi is a constant, it becomes 0. Omega, you can put omega. So I naught omega cos omega t will be the differential form of I. First order derivation of the solution. This is equation number 5. Let's take second derivative of equation 4, that gives d square I by dt square, which is nothing but differentiation of cos is minus sin. So minus I naught omega sin omega t. This you have to write sin omega cos omega t minus pi. Sin omega t minus pi, and the differentiation of omega t minus pi becomes another omega, so that omega square. And this is equation number 6. Okay. Now substitute equation 4, 5, 6 in equation 3. What we will get? L into d square I by dt square. D square I by dt square is nothing but minus I naught omega square sin omega t minus pi plus r into di by dt I naught omega cos omega t minus pi. I naught omega cos omega t minus pi plus 1 over c into I, that is I naught sin omega t minus pi, which is equal to E naught omega cos omega t. E naught omega cos omega t. So this is equation number 7. Okay. Now let us consider E naught omega cos omega t, which is equal to E naught omega cos omega t minus pi plus pi. We are subtracting and adding the term pi. Now let us combine like this. Cos a plus b. It became the form cos a plus b. Equation for cos a plus b. Cos a plus b, which is equal to cos a cos b minus sin a sin b. This is the trigonometric relation for cos A plus B. If we apply this trigonometric relation here, it becomes E naught omega cos A omega t minus pi cos B cos pi minus sin A sin omega t minus pi into sin B cos pi. That is, the term omega t minus pi is equal to A, pi is equal to B. In that analogy, cos of omega t minus pi plus pi becomes this cos omega t minus pi dot cos pi minus sin omega t minus pi dot, this is not cos, this is sin pi. It is essentially the sin A plus B, sorry, cos A plus B equation. Okay, the expansion of cos A plus B equation. So this is the expansion for the right hand side. Okay, now here we have cos of E naught omega t, E naught omega cos omega t minus pi is the coefficient of cos pi. E naught omega sin omega t minus pi is the coefficient of sin pi. Okay, now or you can consider the terms, E naught omega, E naught omega cos pi is the coefficient of the term cos omega t minus pi. E naught omega sin pi is the coefficient of sin omega t minus pi. Here also minus L I naught omega square is the coefficient of sin omega t minus pi, or I naught omega is the coefficient of cos omega t minus pi, and I naught by C is the coefficient of sin omega t minus pi. Now in the first step in equation 7, let us consider similar terms, sin omega t minus pi, right? Take the sin omega t minus pi as common term. What is remaining? Minus L I naught omega square plus I by I naught by C. So this is common. We can write sin omega t minus pi plus or I naught omega cos omega t minus pi, which is equal to now E naught omega cos pi into cos omega t minus pi minus E naught omega sin pi into sin omega t minus pi. This is equation number 8. Now from the left and right hand side, let us equate the coefficient of sin omega t minus pi and cos omega t minus pi. We can write the coefficient of sin omega t minus pi, that is L I naught omega square plus I naught by C, which is equal to this side minus E naught omega sin pi. This is equation number 9. the coefficient of cos omega t minus pi. So r I naught omega, which is equal to this side E naught omega cos pi, this is equation 10. Okay. Now if we take the ratio of equation 9 and 10, we can write minus E naught omega sin pi by E naught omega cos pi. Let's take these two terms in left side, and in the right side let us write minus L omega square minus L omega square. Let's take I naught out, plus 1 by C into I naught divided by omega r omega into I naught. I naught will cancel, omega E naught will cancel, so that the remaining is here sin by cos, this becomes tan pi, that is equal to minus of minus L omega square plus 1 by C divided by r omega. Or we can rewrite this equation. Let us take one omega outside, so that minus omega, let's bring this L inside, minus inside, so that omega into L omega plus 1 by omega C. If you bring this inside, this is minus. If you bring this inside, L omega square, if you take the minus outside, here there will be minus, this become plus. If you bring this inside, L omega square, here 1 by C, right? This is okay, and divided by r omega, so omega will cancel, so that tan pi, which is equal to L omega minus 1 by omega C divided by r. So let's write, this is equation number 10. So this give you the value for tan pi, that is this gives the phase angle pi. Now we need to calculate the equation for I naught. We have to find the expression for I naught. How to do that? So before proceeding further, let us once again recollect the mathematics behind this LCR circuit quickly. We have considered the inductor, capacitor, resistor circuit seriously connected with the AC source, and whose equation is written as E is equal to E naught sin omega t. And here we have the equations for resistance, capacitor and inductance, and we have applied Kirchhoff's voltage law. We have derived the circuit equations, and we have assumed a trial solution from which we intended to calculate the equation for I naught and pi. We have differentiated this equation with respect to t, and with respect to t square we have applied I di by dt, d square I by dt square in the equation number 3. We have applied this expression cos A plus B here in the right side, and we have separated the coefficients of cos omega t minus pi and sin omega t minus pi, and we have taken the ratio of sin pi by cos pi, that is ended at tan pi equal to L omega minus 1 over omega c divided by r. Fine. Let us rub this in order to create space. Now consider this equation, equation 9 and equation 10. Let us square equation 9 and let us square equation 10, then add. That gives square of the equation 9, L I naught omega square plus I naught by c the square, right? Minus L I naught omega square plus I naught by c the whole squared, left hand side, plus r I naught omega the whole square, which is equal to right hand side minus E naught omega sin pi the square, minus E naught omega sin pi square plus E naught omega cos pi square. This becomes, we can take the I naught square out. So I naught square minus L omega square plus 1 by c the whole square plus I naught square r square omega square, that is equal to, here E naught square omega square, here also E naught square omega square, so we can take sin square pi plus cos square pi. Okay, then let's rewrite this equation like this. I naught square, let's take I naught square as common. What's remaining? Minus L omega square plus 1 by c the whole square plus r square omega square is equal to sin square pi plus cos square pi is equal to 1, so that remaining is E naught square omega square. Now in this we can write I naught square, this equation I can write L omega minus omega plus minus omega divided by minus omega into 1 over c the square plus r square omega square, which is equal to E naught square omega square. Now if I take omega as common term from this, I can minus omega, so that I can rewrite this equation as, okay, what I can write, minus omega into L omega minus of 1 by omega c the whole square plus r square omega square, which is equal to E naught square omega square. Now this term minus omega the whole square, you can bring the square here, minus omega the whole square, here square, so this becomes minus omega into omega square. Here there is omega square, here there is omega square. I can write this equation as like this: omega square into L omega minus omega c the square plus r square omega square, which is equal to E naught square omega square. I can cancel out all this. So what's remaining? Rewrite this equation in terms of I naught square, which is E naught square divided by L omega minus 1 over c omega the whole square, or I naught, which is equal to E naught by L omega minus 1 over c omega the whole square, plus r square is there, plus r square, so that here also plus r square. Okay, now this term is denoted as impedance. This term is denoted as impedance Z. So as this term is denoted as impedance, you can rewrite this as Z, so that I naught, which is equal to E naught by Z. Okay, this also you can write. So let's write this as equation number 11, and this you can write Z equal to E naught by I naught. This another equation. Fine. Now we have, in the beginning we have considered the trial solution as I equal to I naught sin omega t minus pi. Now let us substitute this expression I naught here, so it becomes E naught by L omega minus c omega the whole square plus r square. You know, this is I naught square, this is I naught, so what is missing? The square root is missing here. Okay, the square root of L omega minus 1 over c omega square plus r square is the Z. So that here this term into sin omega t minus pi. Okay, this is equation number 12. Now here the current lags the EMF. The current lags the EMF by an phase angle pi. But the equation for why we are saying that this is lagging, because the current phi is in minus, so that current lagging the applied EMF, and we can write this equation phi. We can calculate it from taking an inverse. Phi is nothing but tan inverse of L omega minus 1 by omega c by r, this way. Or we can write this term as tan inverse of L omega is nothing but XL, 1 over omega c is nothing but XC by R. In that way also you can write the equation for pi. This is equation number 13. So now we have written the expression for I naught and pi. Okay, we have written the expression for I naught and pi. The current I at any instantaneous time is E naught by square root of L omega minus C omega square plus R square sin omega t minus pi. And the expression for the impedance is this: Z equal to square root of L omega minus C omega square plus R square. Now, when this term is minimum, right, when this term is minimum, right, minimum means, that is when Z equal to minimum, when the resistance is minimum, then the current will be maximum, right? If you consider this equation, I naught is equal to E naught by Z. When the Z is minimum, then the current I naught, the maximum, the I naught is the peak current, that will be maximum. When it is maximum, when Z is minimum. When Z will be minimum? Z will be minimum when L omega is equal to 1 by C omega. When L omega equal to 1 by C omega, and if R is minimum, then Z will be minimum. Okay, so now when omega L, which is equal to 1 over omega C, in that case Z equal to minimum, and that is equal to R. Z becomes R, right? Now for minimum Z, minimum impedance, the current, the minimum impedance, right, E naught by this term, that is E naught by R square, which is nothing but I naught. So I naught is maximum, so that I will be maximum. So that I will be maximum, right? The linear frequency that gives the minimum Z, minimum impedance, right? The linear frequency at which this minimum impedance is achieved is called resonant frequency. The nu at which Z equal to minimum is called nu naught. This is called resonant frequency of that particular circuit. This is called the resonant frequency of that circuit. That is, at nu equal to nu naught, omega L is equal to 1 by omega C, or 2 pi nu L, which is equal to 1 over 2 pi nu C. Or you can write LC, which is equal to, nu square, which is equal to, let's bring this nu here and bring all other terms to there. You bring the nu to the left side, 2 pi L to the right side. What will happen? 4 pi square LC, or nu equal to 1 by 2 pi square root of LC, right? 1 by 2 pi square root of LC. Okay, so this is the equation. At nu equal to nu naught, this is equal to same, so these are the terms. So nu naught equal to 1 by, that is the resonant frequency. The equation for resonant frequency is 1 by square root of 2 pi LC. This is the equation for resonant frequency. Okay, so when Z equal to minimum, the maximum current is observed, that is nothing but E by R naught. That is nothing but E by R naught, right? Here E naught by R. In this case, I naught, which is nothing but E naught by R, because these two terms will cancel out each other. And one more thing you can do is, you can write the frequency response diagram, nu versus current I. This current I is maximum for nu naught. It is maximum for nu naught, and it decreases on either side. Okay, so this is the frequency response diagram. This is the frequency response diagram for series LCR circuit, right? So this type of series LCR circuit is said to be an acceptor circuit. Why? Right, at the resonant frequency, the impedance is low, the current flow is maximum, right? This combination is useful to tune the matching frequencies. So series LCR circuit is applied in the radios to tune the desired frequencies or desired radio stations of a particular frequency. So this is all about the mathematics and the science behind the concepts behind the series LCR circuit. In the next lecture, we will see the parallel LCR circuit. Until then, thank you, bye.